The Cosatu Secretary General Bheki Ntshalintshali says one of the things that will be discussed as the alliance is why the alliance is not working in its current form. Ntshalintshali says Cosatu's conference is not only about voting for leaders. For more on this story, we cross now live to our reporter Abongile Dumako. Abongile, what's happening?
Siswam? Not yet. Can't charge it. Thank you, Desiree. Of course, you are still coming to you live from Kalaga Estate here in Midrand. There's been a lot of developments since we last spoke earlier this morning. And of course, there's been some scuffle between some two factions of Union SAMU demanding that they want to be allowed access inside the main hall where the event is going to be taking place. But we understand now that people are beginning to trickle in here inside the main hall, which is right behind me there. We are expecting the delegates to come in numbers. And of course, we've seen outside quite a lot of them coming. We're expecting, of course, the President Cyril Ramaphosa of the ANC to address about 2,000 workers who have come to actually elect this new leadership of Cosatu. And of course, a lot of anticipation and expectation comes with what the President is going to say. And of course, we understand that the President was here or is here, looking at the fact that, of course, he's usually at Luthuli House, which is the ANC headquarters, on Monday for their Monday meeting as the ANC top six. We also understand that there's an NWC meeting taking place, so we don't know exactly if you'd be able to come here, seeing that we are already behind schedule. We're supposed to have started at 10 o'clock, but because there's delays that are happening here now, Desiree, which saw the SAMU members being scattered all over the place. And of course, my colleague Lihana Tsoteti did speak to Cosatu General Secretary Bheki Ntshalintshali, trying to find out his reaction on what we've seen unfold here this morning.
Today we're discussing the political report. Issues that are going to be discussed is about our freedom, the National Democratic Revolution. How far have we gone in relation to that issue? What step we need to take to ensure that we proceed? We're also going to look to the balances of forces, both internationally and domestically, and say, as a trade union movement, what we need to do, and having considered the lessons all over the world, that the rising of the right-wing leaders, from Trump to people in Italy, those who are conservative are winning the hearts and the minds of people. Secondly, we are going to talk about the alliance. We have already tabled in the alliance that the current arrangement in the alliance is not working. We got a proposal on the reconfigure of the alliance. We want the Congress to debate those particular issues. We are going to debate the proposal by the party on the state power and whether the party is ready to contest election and dealing with those issues. And finally, we are going to discuss today the issues of the 2019 general election.
Okay, sure. Okay, cool. Well, that was Bheki Ntshalintshali, Secretary General of Cosatu, saying they are actually looking forward to this conference officially being opened. Of course, outgoing President Dumako Dlamini expected to take to the podium in a couple of minutes from now and actually address these delegates. And of course, when I look down here, I can see that delegates are beginning to actually come in, as I was saying just now. Of course, we've seen National Chairperson of the ANC, Gwede Mantashe, having arrived here, Senzo Mchunu, whom was actually in the forefront during Nasrec last year when we were electing, of course, the top six of the ANC, who was beat, of course, by Ace Magashule, who happens to be the Secretary General of the ruling party right now. We've seen DSG of the ANC, that is now JC Duarte, making her way here. And of course, a lot of leadership from all the unions that are affiliated to Cosatu are beginning to make their way here inside the main hall. This is where James, of course, the first deputy president of Cosatu, is expected to actually welcome these delegates and, of course, hand over to Dumako Dlamini, who will officially open the conference that has been long awaited. Of course, if you look at the fact that there's issues of succession, which we've been mentioning, of course, about the fact that we're looking to a possibility of a woman leading Cosatu as the president, and, of course, Zingi Swalosi being on everybody's lips since the build-up of this conference. And, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa of the ANC is expected to deliver the main address here today. And of course, you'll be followed by SACP's General Secretary, that is now Dr. Bheki Ntshalintshali. A lot of activity, of course, is expected to take place on this first day of the 4-day elective Congress of Cosatu, which, of course, as we've been saying, has been delayed by a couple of minutes now due to the fact that there were some scuffles that were happening and some misunderstandings with regards to factions that have been developing within one of unions affiliated to Cosatu, that is now SAMU. And of course, people continue to come in, the ordinary members and of course ordinary workers of South Africa here. We've seen Abongile Dumako on our screens here, a Minister of the Telecommunications, making his way here, and Postal Service making his way here to actually witness what will come out in as far as this Congress is concerned. Of course, we'll bring you rolling coverage of what is actually unfolding here at Galaga Estate here in Midrand.
Thanks a lot there to Abongile. That's a story we'll continue to follow for the duration of about the 4 days duration of the conference. But we now cross back